Welcome back. This is the weekly video review for the ODAC and USA South conferences for coaches and officials. We're deep into conference play at this point. Let's keep getting better and finish the season strong. So in this play, let's talk about ineligible receivers downfield. In order to have ineligible receivers downfield, the ineligible receivers need to be 3 or more yards downfield when the ball is thrown. If we stop the play when the ball is released by the quarterback, we see that neither of our two linemen with ineligible numbers in the middle of the field are 3 or more yards downfield at the time of the release. By the time our receiver catches the ball, both have met the 5-yard threshold and are continuing to move downfield. Just like with our sliding quarterbacks, we have to use good discretion on these plays. A good rule of thumb is that if we don't think the lineman is at least 4 yards downfield, we probably shouldn't have this flag. The reason being is that it's very difficult to watch the quarterback and the lineman at the exact same time. So giving yourself that half second to turn left and then turn right to see the position of the lineman and the release of the ball is going to ensure you have good judgment on this play. Speaking of good no calls, let's pay attention to this wide receiver on this play. When we talk about pass interference, there has to be some type of intent and advantage gained during the course of the play. In this scenario, we have a wide receiver trying to run a route and a defensive back trying to play the ball. In the course of these actions, their feet get tangled up and they both end up on the ground. With no overt action, giving either player an advantage on this play, this will be written up as a good no call. It's good to have eyes on the entire play to know how the defender and the offensive player ended up where they do on the ground, but with no discernible action for us to make a ruling in one player's favor, a no call is a correct call on this play. On this play, let's talk about game control and one of our automatic unsportsmanlike conduct fouls. After score, or for any other play, players should be immediately returning the balls to the officials or leaving the ball at the dead ball spot. Any type of kick, spin, throwing of the ball, or spiking it into the ground that delays the official's ability to get the ball ready for play should be called as an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Let's communicate with players, and if we can prevent this, let's try to talk them out of doing something that'll earn them the 15-yard penalty. On this play, we're going to talk about reverse mechanics. We have an interception, and our short wing should be retreating as our deep wing comes up in preparation to get the spot trailing the play. We initially move in the right direction, but once again, in reverse mechanics, we switch our responsibilities. Our short wing should be going in to clean up the play while our deep wing comes in to get the spot. However, our short wing starts moving back up the sideline, trying to get the spot. Short wings, I know our primary responsibility on most plays is to get the location at the end of the run. But when we recognize that we have an interception and we're going into reverse mechanics, our responsibilities change. You need to stay in front of the play, watching for blocks and other action in front of where the runner is. Our deep wing is going to take over your responsibilities and can handle moving to the spot that represents the end of the run on the sideline. Let's not be overly ambitious and properly cover the play by moving inside and ensuring these players get safely off the field. On this play, we're going to talk about kick catch interference and crew communication. On this play, our nearest kicking team player is the responsibility of our deep wing on the near sideline. As your initial read, you should be following this player until the kick is ended. Just in front of our receiver, we see that number 30 on the white team is getting blocked in the back, which leads into him contacting our receiver prior to our receiver being able to complete the fair catch. Our back judge properly puts the flag on the ground for the apparent kick catch interference. Deep wings. If you were paying attention to your key during this play, you would have information to 1, have a flag down for the block in the back, and 2, be able to communicate with the back judge that we do not have kick catch interference on this play. On this play, we'll review chop blocking. A chop block is a high-low combination block on an opposing player. Monitor the left guard and the center on this play. At the snap, the left guard engages with the defender clearly above the waist. The center initiates a low block on the same player clearly below the waist. This would be considered a chop block. Chop blocks are a foul because they present a high risk for injury. If you see this, make sure we get a flag down and we inform the players of the situation. In most cases, a chop block is unintentional, but it's a play we need to take out of the game. On this final play, let's talk about unnecessary roughness in an unlikely location. Monitor the action between these two players on the field. During these extended plays, we must monitor all the positions on the field, and our mechanics allow us to do that. Short wing on the far side of the field, while this is not your original key on the play, this player enters your zone, so you are the covering official. If we watch the defender, we notice that he realizes that this receiver is coming in his direction and his attention is in the offensive backfield. Taking advantage of this, he steps forward and delivers a large blow to the chest of our offensive player. He then looks down at the player on the ground. And while we cannot assume anything, we must pay attention to these types of interactions between players after big hits. As officials, we must ensure the safety of our players when we can, in this very physical and oftentimes violent game. Let's ensure we don't miss this type of unnecessary roughness on the football field and flag it appropriately. Let's keep the players safe when we can. That will do it for the Week 7 video review. Stay poised on the field, let the plays come to you, and keep communicating with our sidelines and fellow officials. We'll always get the call right. We have all the information. The best way to do that is talk with your crew. Have a good weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games.